Hey, it's Emily, Super Sensitive Human, and I just wanted to do a quick review of the documentary I just watched called Unrest. For those of you who don't know, I've had chronic fatigue syndrome for 17 years, and this is a documentary about chronic fatigue syndrome, or myalgic encephalitis, as some call it. I have this terrible pain in my shoulder today. It's like this pinching nerve pain that's preventing me from wanting to do anything productive, and so I thought that I would revel in my misery with some good miserable TV viewing. I don't usually watch like illness documentaries and stuff because it's just depressing, and I already know all this, but it's been recommended to me a couple of times, so I thought I would check it out. Unrest is by a 28-year-old, when she started filming, PhD student who comes down with this mysterious illness, and most of what the documentary features is people who are super duper sick. Like, say I have moderate chronic fatigue. We're talking about people with severe chronic fatigue who can't talk, who can't walk. Some of them haven't gotten out of bed in years and years. This has never been me in the course of my 17 years of being ill. You might even say that it's not even the same disease, because I don't really have very bad like post-exertional malaise, where if I try and do something I get really tired. I get like kind of like more tired, corresponding to how tired I was to begin with, which was already tired. So, you know, if I start out with a 50% battery, I might end up with a 25% battery, whereas some healthy person might start out with a 100% battery and end up with a 50% battery, or 75%, whatever. And I have the ability to, you know, if I was pressed, I could walk 30 miles. I have walked 30 miles in my illness, but it's been a while. I don't think I've walked more than 5 or 6 miles in the last couple years. But it's not about me, it's about the movie. The movie, I would say, is good for people to watch who don't really understand what chronic illness is like, or what chronic fatigue is like, or chronic Lyme disease, or that kind of thing. You know, better for friends and family who don't really get it than if you already have the disease. There's kind of no point. You'll see a lot of the features of having disease like this, like people don't believe you, they think that you're crazy. It's really hard to get treated in any sort of way by modern medicine. You end up turning to alternative medicine, and you'll see her have these big plastic tubs of pills. Like, I just have my other video of big garbage laundry bag full of empty pill bottles. You'll see her watching videos of people who have cured themselves on YouTube. You know, I've done that for sure. Investigated toxic mold, considered living, you know, totally radical living situations. Her husband, for the most part, is really awesome and supportive. I'm kind of jealous of him, but he does get frustrated and doesn't get it at some points. Mostly she feels like a burden on him, which I can definitely relate to. Feeling bad if feeling like somebody has to take care of me, but mostly that doesn't happen. Mostly I'm just on my own, so I don't have to feel too bad. But if they were here, then I might. But I'm a lot more functional than you'll see depicted in the movie. And basically, I'm absolutely fine with using alternative medicine and treating myself and looking at psychological reasons for being ill. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. That the government isn't doing anything about it, I don't think about that at all. Look at the diseases that the government is spending all the money on, and the kinds of things that they do, like come up with pharmaceuticals to treat them, I don't even care about that. I wouldn't take them if they existed. I kind of prefer the natural methods anyway. But yeah, I'm a real rogue, rugged individualist, so I don't really give a shit that the NIH isn't coming up with a cure for this. Or I also don't think that you can say that any disease is just physical or just psychological. I don't think that the way that doctors and society portrays it is right at all, like trying to label people psychosomatic, because I think that every disease is partially based in consciousness, and I'm certain that with a disease like chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, there is literally like hundreds of biomarkers that are physically off if anybody would take the time to investigate them, but doctors don't even take the time. They might give you a few blood tests and oop, those ones are okay. That's fine. They don't know the right things to test. And like it shows in the video, if you do test it, it'll show, wow, you have a severe immune system problem. But my overall assessment of it as a film and a documentary, I mean, I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's certainly worth watching for somebody who's the least bit intrigued by what it's like to have one of these illnesses. I just am giving you my personal take on what it means to me. Okay, I'll tell you what I wish about the movie. I wish that people would watch it and then say, ah, I see, Emily is like a quarter as bad as these people, or even an eighth as bad as these people. Now I understand why she does what she does, and why her house is so dirty, and why she doesn't have a real job, and why she's in a lot of debt, and all these things that just make me seem kind of quirky and lazy.